Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through the Brisbane versus Melbourne game, in which Brisbane came out winners very late. Glad I got that tip right, even though it was very close. And I mean, this week in general, just for fantasy purposes, I mean, you can't always predict players to almost have a renaissance or whatever. But yeah, just a couple of, I wouldn't say even that I did that bad. It was just a lot of my primos that just didn't fire. I mean, I've got just in the midfield alone, 1, 2, 3, 4 80s and 70s. In the back line, I've got another couple of bad scores, including a bad Hayden Young tagging game, which was quite annoying. I didn't expect that, and I don't think many did. And then my forward line has 2 70s and 2 60s, so, and my ruck line as well failed as well. So yeah, just a lot of failures along the lines, which kind of sucks in the end, but hopefully yeah, I can get up to an alright score. I mean, with my captaincy score as well as Brody Grundy's score is on the bench at the moment, it should be able to get up to hopefully 2100 or so, give or take, and then I can move on from there with getting another primo and upgrading a Powell or something like that this week. But yeah, this game in general, I was a little bit annoyed, but I wasn't too annoyed. I mean, I have made the sort of right choices in fantasy the last couple of weeks, bringing in Merritt and now Zorko. I mean, Merritt did go 86 or whatever this week, but he did go, 89, so he's gone at an average of 100 across 2 weeks, which isn't the worst. And Zorko went 118, which was decent. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. So I'll try and make this one sort of around that 8-9 minute mark just to make it quicker. But yeah, we have here again the player stats here. Dunkley, 28, 42, 45, 43. He was just really good after quarter time. I'm really annoyed. I did switch him out in Supercoach, which was another poor decision. I mean, even now I'm starting to realise that Supercoach, that everything sort of matches up in terms of AFL fantasy and Supercoach. I thought even with the limited trades, maybe it was slightly different and you take on those sort of Jai Simpkin and stuff like that, but I don't think that is truly the case. I think you just take the primos each and every week, so that'll be what I'll be doing next year, and with the and I'll try and implement it as much as I know with the AFLW fantasy when we get to that. But yeah, Dunkley was pretty amazing and will be one that I'll be eyeing off next week. Zorko 118, he was pretty good as well. 27, 27, 26, 38. Would have liked just a teensy bit more and a little bit more Supercoach scores, as he got a 115. Neil 100, he was pretty stock standard, but he ended up having a huge kick. I think it was late on, maybe this 22-36 one, that ended up being a huge one that got him up to, I think, 110 Supercoach points or so. It was like a 15-point kick just because it was a goal assist to get them within, I think, 1 point or so at the time. Let's just look at it. He ended up 114 Supercoach-wise, which was pretty decent. Hugh McCluggage, 97, he came off of a pretty slow start and then really got going, which was really good to see. I thought it was really weird to see him get off to a slow start. I think they might have even said that there might have been a little bit of a tag going on. But yeah, the big three from Dunkley, Zorko and McCluggage really got going in the second half. You'll see that, 65, and Neil had 66 and Dunkley had 88 in the second half, so that combines for over 200 points. I thought that Will Ashcroft, for the first game back, I thought it was really good, an 85. Yeah, but no fancy relevance. Danaher, Lester Berry, Revel was really good. I think he also had a really impactful last quarter, which was huge for Supercoach. Obviously not that impactful, and I don't think he'll be that impactful for at least a couple of years in the future now, just because we've sort of got now to that rookie mode for him. McInerney, 74 against Gawn. He really just stopped Gawn in his tracks. I thought Gawn was a guy that was going to be really impactful in this game, just given the averages. But then I switched out at the last second to Zorko on both, just because I saw the Gawn record at the Gabba, and I went, no, that's just not a good record, regardless of soloing or doubling up with Jackson and Grundy, etc. That just isn't a good record, and so I jumped out of that and went to the likes of Zorko, who I took in in fantasy, but didn't take in Supercoach. And in Supercoach, I went for Dacos and got an extra point out of doing so, I believe. I just need to double check that, as I believe the point scaling got me a Dacos. Dacos points. Yeah, Dacos got 115, 116, whereas Zorko got 118, 115. And McKenna, 64, Hipwood. Lohman, 62, he's one of my actual favourite players to watch, even though he did nothing in the second and third. He did get almost concussed in, I think, the second, was it, or something? He looked absolutely shot, so I'm surprised he even came back on, but he made a massive impact in the last with just, I think, a goal. Yeah, just a goal. But another, 4 tackles and 3 marks. So yeah, 4 tackles, 3 marks in the last is huge. Archie, Wilmot, Rayner, Joyce, Cameron, Andrews, Bailey, Fletcher, Morris. So out of Brisbane, the only guys I'd really be looking at are your Dunkley, Zorko. Honestly, that might even be it. Maybe Neil, but I think Neil is one of those guys, much like Matty Rowell, who is a guy that you can go for in Supercoach. Even Matty Rowell in Supercoach is a little bit iffy, but they don't do enough fancy-wise because they're, I don't know what it is. They just don't correlate to scoring fancy-wise. 96, whereas I think in Supercoach he's at like a 115 or so. So I think they just have high splits in terms of points, much like Bontempelli, who has a high Supercoach conversion rate, but he also gets the points in fantasy. Then we move over to Melbourne, and of course Clayton Oliver, after everything we said about midweek, he decides to go off and score a 109. He's still going to be dropping, I believe, does it say, is that expected points drop or whatever? Yeah, it looks like it. Expected to drop 9k. So, I mean, in the end, if you really wanted to say that you won, you got 9k, you saved 9k, but he did go 109, so it doesn't really help. And he was just good throughout. I thought maybe with his tank, he sat out the first 8 or 9 minutes of the second, that he'd start to slow down a little bit, but he just kept on going, which was kind of annoying. But it's good to see him back, and I just think that this one is, I think it gives more confidence for me that he will be back next year. If I just go to Oliver. I think Oliver is one that I would definitely be looking at next year. We have, 8 games to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 games to go. He's averaging 81. If he goes, I think it's not out of necessarily the question for him to go 110. Times by 8 plus 1220 equals that, divide that by 23. If he goes at 110, which I said, he ends up averaging 91, and I think that's if he does do that, then a full preseason I could see him going back to being a 110 type of guy. So yeah, I'm very, very intrigued about Clayton Oliver for next year, because I think a full preseason could be very, very interesting, and also having Petrarca back could be interesting for him. Piggott 104, Viney 104. These two, Piggott was amazing to watch. One of the guys you hate if he's not on your side, but I feel like if he's on your side, you love him. It's kind of like Papley for the Swans. But yeah, he's just amazing. It sometimes is amazing to watch when he doesn't get into all those sort of scraps and stuff, just because he's so electric. 104 from him, and he did it pretty much all in the first half with a 79 first half. Viney 104, Van Rooyen, Petty, Gawn. Gawn was pretty bad, to be honest with you. 77 from him. And yeah, he'll be dropping quite dramatically. Just didn't get involved outside of the sort of hit-outs, and that kind of sucks. But anyway, Neil Bullen, Langdon McDonald. This is why you don't go for mid-prices. Let me just point that out to you. 110%. We saw Simpkin, we saw Rivers, we saw Salem. Who else have we seen fail? Those 3 have failed already in the last couple of weeks from major trade-ins. Let me actually just do this for you and show you exactly what I mean by this. Because I think this absolutely almost stands up on itself. I didn't call Jai Caldwell a mid-pricer. I thought that 791k and him averaging basically a top-of-the-line forward, I don't think that really counted to the nth degree. Jai Simpkin, he failed. Trent Rivers, he failed. We haven't seen Elliot Yeo. Grunzewski, I don't know why anyone would get a key forward at this point. Any others failed? To the 886 that traded in Josh Dunkley, fair play. Caden Cleary is actually getting a run out right now in the twos because he didn't play that much. Anyone else? How did Rory Laird do? 92, meh. Took Miller. No one else here really is a high trade-in target that was sort of a mid-price level, except for Connor Rosine. We'll see how that goes today. If that fails, then this point pretty much just stands up to the nth degree. May, Chandler, Moniz, Wakefield, Sparrow, Turner, Windsor. No one else here really matters too much. And that's pretty much it for everything here. I think, yeah, Brown may be impactful next year as a 200k rookie because it looks like he's going to get basement price with a couple of sub-affected scores or majorly affected scores. I think he's played, someone said, 17 minutes in the last 2 weeks. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there going through the Brisbane versus Melbourne game. And I will see you guys back here for the next recap. Bye, guys.